God's tithe is a tenth, like a tag on an item in the store. Grace and peace, everybody. Welcome into Sabbath School Study Group. This is part 5 of this 5-part series, trying to understand the experience and the joy of the tithing contract between God and his people. And today we're going to focus on the tithe as a tenth. Literally speaking, mathematically speaking, as we look at it in Scripture, the tithe is actually 10% or 1 out of 10 of every $10 we receive, or every 10 Deutschmarks or euros or whatever, or pounds, whatever it might be. 1/10. And when we think of the tenth, I want us to think of it as like we think of a tag on an item in the store. Because I know, especially when we begin the journey of returning a tithe, it can kind of seem a little like, whoa, this is different. And it might feel a little difficult because I'm giving 1/10, which means I'm only living off of 90%. Think about it. When we look at the tithe, we're not really looking at a lot. It's just 1/10. When we think of the tithe as 1/10, it's really not a lot. But that is what it is. See, in Genesis chapter 14, verse 18 to 20, we're introduced to the first person to actually return a tithe in Scripture. And this is Abraham returning a tithe to Melchizedek, the king of Salem, who brought forth bread and wine. And he was the priest of the Lord, the Most High God. And he blessed him. Melchizedek blessed Abram and said, "Blessed be Abraham of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth. And blessed be the Most High God, which hath delivered thine enemies into thy hand." And he gave him, that is, Abram gave Melchizedek, tithes of all. Abram gives Melchizedek, the worker and the man who's serving God full time, he gives him a tithe. When he gives him this tithe, the actual amount or percentage is explained in the book of Hebrews. Hebrews says in chapter 7, verse 1 and 2, "For this Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High God, who met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings, and blessed him, to whom also Abraham gave a 10th part of all, first being by interpretation king of righteousness, and after that also king of Salem, which is king of peace." Abram gives, or in this case in Hebrews, Abraham, by now he had the name change, Abraham receives the blessing of God and all these rewards from the battle where he goes and he frees Lot and his family and these others, his neighboring and his community. And from all that he got, he gives 1/10 of that to Melchizedek. When we look at an item in the store and when we think about a tag, tags are never, and I'm not going to never say never, but usually, I'm going to say it, never bigger than the item, right? When you think about the little watch, or you think about the blouse or the shirt, even if you think about a car, the tag or the sticker on it is just a portion of that item. And the tags are significant, one, because they let us know how much the item cost. But one of the things that tags also let us know is where they came from. Most places, they have on that tag, on that sticker, their name. And the tag reminds the buyer or the purchaser, this is yours now. You own it. You got it. But it came from us. So that hopefully, when you see that tag, whether it's sewn into the back or whether it's put somewhere under the bottom, when you want more of this, you know who to come to. You know who to go to because this is who you got it from in the first place. Tithing does the same thing. Mentally and spiritually, it tags that which we have received. And that which we received is all ours. Because God, who says we should freely give as we freely receive, he does that. He freely gives. That's what grace is. Grace is unmerited favor. In fact, grace is him giving us that which we don't even deserve. But flip it back as we bring this thing home. When it comes to the tithe or the tag, we're giving that back to him because it doesn't even belong to us in the first place. Just like when we have something, we bought it from the store and the tag is hanging on it. What do? We take it and we take it off. And we set it aside. Because I don't need that anymore to do what I need to do. But that tag has meaning and it has purpose, and my tithe it has meaning and it has purpose, and it reminds me that everything that I'm left to enjoy with came from him. So, when it comes to our tithing, when it comes to our tagging, I pray that when we take off that tag, we give thanks. There's no feeling of regret. It's not a loss, it's all love. The better four-letter word than loss. Love says thank you. Love says I will never forget where this came from. So when it is gone, when it is spent, even if somebody takes it, I know where it all comes from. And he loves me, and he's ready to give even more.